Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and thank you very much for staying subscribed. I see that I've actually grown even though I haven't been making videos for a while. So thank you very much to the new subscribers and for everyone else who has stayed with me and waited patiently for another video. I think it's been 3 months since my last video, so I do apologise, but I just wasn't feeling up to it and needed to take a break. I'm not 100% right, but at least I've stopped coughing so I can talk without having a coughing fit, which helps when you're making videos. And yeah, I've just kind of got a bit of energy back and a little bit of renewed enthusiasm. So I thought today I would just do a kind of an update. While I was talking to you, I thought I would just flip through the Xmas Journal, seeing as it's Christmas. This is of course last year's, and it's the Marguerite Miller Christmas edition collage art glue book, which many of us did last year. I'll just flip through it and just give you something to look at while I kind of update you on what my plans are for the YouTube channel and a little bit about what I've been up to. And also you might think that the sound and lighting is a bit different to normal. I'm actually on location at my local art group, which I have been coming to on a Friday, so I'll talk about that in a little moment. And there's traffic noise outside, but I have had to turn the fans off because they're quite loud and it's really hot today, so I may have to turn the fans back on. We'll see how we go. You know me, I get really hot. So yes, I've taken a break and rested up and went on a kind of a healthy diet and all that kind of thing to give myself the most chance to improve. But in the meantime, I have been coming to the art club on a Friday and sometimes on a Wednesday, and we've been doing all sorts of different projects that we do on here at the Rockingham Visual Art Society in Baldivis, which if any of my subscribers live in sort of the Perth, Rockingham, Mandurah sort of area, you might like to pop in and visit the club rooms and check out to see whether you'd like to join the club. So I've been coming on a Friday and we just do kind of all different kinds of art projects to get us inspired and try out different and new techniques. And then about the last month or so, the lady who normally runs the club and runs Fridays had a knee operation. So I've been sort of looking after Fridays, and some of the ladies decided they wanted to make these journals, or make a journal, because they'd seen my journals. So we're actually currently in the process of making a journal with a similar technique to Peter Rabbit. I don't think anyone's doing Peter Rabbit, but we're basically doing this technique, which I'll talk about a bit more in a moment. But that's what we've been doing. We've started to do on Fridays, is to make a journal. So as I say, if you're in the local area or visiting, feel free to pop in. We'll be here 10:30 on Friday, but only for this week and next week. So then we start to close up for Christmas. The club rooms are also open on Monday morning from 9:30 to 12 and Tuesday morning from 9:30 to 12. They do different things. Monday is craft, Tuesday is painting, like acrylic painting, and I've been opening up sometimes on a Wednesday and we've been doing acrylic pouring. So that's been fun and different too, very different to collage. At the end of the video, I might show you some of the photos of the projects that I've been doing this last few months, but if you don't want to see acrylic art and that kind of thing, there's a couple of mixed media ones as well. I'll show you those at the end. Okay, so this is last year's Christmas journal. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do one quite like this, but because the Friday group wanted to make a journal, I thought I would make one in a Christmas theme. So I'm using Christmas papers. So this was for last year's Christmas journal. So that's just a little bit of, let's get into the Christmas spirit. Make a Christmas journal if you'd like to. So the ladies here on a Friday had been looking at this Peter Rabbit book, and it's a really simple method. This is actually just sort of a really thick file folder, which I got from a local supermarket, and I just basically, creased it, made some pages from Gelli Prints and cardstock, and glued them together. So the blank pages, so obviously I've started collaging, I haven't finished the book, but this is what the pages look like. So that's cardstock, this is Gelli Print. So I would glue 2 pages of Gelli Print together and so there's no white on the back. If it's not a double-sided, I would glue something to it, trim it up and put the corners on. And yeah, so that's cardstock and paper, no, whatever it's scrapbooking paper, which is quite thick. Gelli printing, glued to gelli printing, scrapbook, gelli printing, scrapbook. So what I did, looks like what I did was I glued 2 scrapbooking papers together and 2 gelli printing papers together, and then made the signature. So that's the little book that that's the style that I'm making. You know, with this, it's just really simple. And what we've been doing so far is gathering our papers together and starting to create the signature. And then next year, I'm actually going to be opening the club on Wednesdays and try to continue the journaling. Well, we don't call it junk journaling here in WA. They just call it making books or making journals. It hasn't really taken off that much here. I only know like 2 people in the whole of the state that do it. There may be others, so if you're in the local area, please do come and visit. As I say, we'll be here 10:30 on Friday for this week and next week, and next year from the 11th of January we'll be starting to do journals and all the things that go with journals, like collaging and stamping and embossing and making tags and all sorts of, you know, all the things that go into journals. So that's a little bit about what I've been doing and what I'm intending to do with my art club. But of course, I know most of you live overseas and over, you know, other side of Australia, so you can't visit me at the club. So I will be trying to make some videos as well. What I might do is film what we are doing in the club, maybe do challenges, because we have challenges here at the club. So I might do a little challenge that matches in with the club, make a little process video for that challenge, so the ladies here have something to sort of get an idea of collaging for a challenge. Sort of an idea of a video that we might do in January. I know it's a way off yet because we're still in December, but that's just to give you the heads up that I'm looking at doing challenges once a month that match in with what the club is doing here, so that I can do a video and it goes with what I'm doing in the real world. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to combine the 2 things, YouTube videos and my art club. That's what my plan is. Does that make sense? I want to say thank you very much to everyone that contacted me during the little 3-month break. People emailed me and checked up on me and asked me how I was. That was really nice. Sorry I wasn't always very quick in replying. I actually didn't go on YouTube or my email during the break. I was just focused on my health and other issues, and yeah, so then I suddenly thought, oh, I haven't checked my email, and then I found some emails from people, so I apologise again for the delay in answering, but thank you so much for thinking of me and your very kind wishes. That was lovely. So far what we've done at the club is start to create some gelli prints, so I was showing them how to do that, and then doing some stenciling on top. So what I've done is I've just did some gelli prints in sort of Christmas colours, and then started sort of stenciling and trying different things on them. This one I just did like a gold edge. I've sort of made them up into pairs, but they don't have to stay that way. So yeah, there's some pink ones, some different colours. I can't actually tell if I'm in screen, so I apologise if I do go out of screen because I don't have my TV here. I'm actually at the club now doing the video. I've just set it all up, so all my stuff is here. Well, not all of it, but probably 60% of my stash is here at the club, and everything to do with bookbinding, papers and gelli printing is here at the club. It's really hard for me I can't do videos at home because all my stuff's here. So that's why I'm going to try and combine the club activities and my YouTube activities in the same place. Hopefully we're going to get an air conditioner. The local shire has said that they will provide us with an air conditioner because Baldivis, which is where it is very hot. Did I tell you the address for anyone who feels like coming down? It's the corner of Baldivis and 50 Road, and it's got the Baldivis Reserve. Basically, I've done some gelli prints, done some stenciling, and trimmed some edges. So theoretically, I'm kind of ready to glue these back to back. But what I thought I might do was go through each page and maybe add some stenciling or decoration, maybe some stamping onto some of these pages before I glue them in the book, because it is easier to do it beforehand. So I'm going to pause and I'll be back in a moment. So I found some stencils and some sponges. I'm going to just work on this one first because this is the one I like the least. I don't like the orange. So I suggest folding it in half already once you've trimmed all the edges off. Here in Australia we have A4 paper, and the Gelli plate is 8 by 10, so we always end up with this white edge. You know, this is the Gelli print comes out there. So anyway, I only wanted a small book, so just going to fold the pages, trimmed it off, and fold the pages in half so that you're not putting the colour onto the other side. That's my theory. And I've just got a bit of white gesso. Just need a stencil. I was thinking like a snowflake one, but I've lost them all. I just got a whole pile out. How can things... I've got everything in front of me. How can I lose the whole pile of stencils? I just... yeah, under the Gelli Prints. Things don't change, do they? All right, so I found something that looked a bit like a kind of a snowflake-ish thing. It's a doily pattern for a, oh, that one too. Yeah, those two. So I thought I might try that with some white. So I'm just going to use a sponge, and hopefully it looks a bit too much. Just put some on the side there. And then just lightly dab it on. You can use white acrylic, of course. We'll see. I don't really know why I picked gesso, to be honest. I could have used the white acrylics. Same thing, I guess. But anyway, just see how this goes. I just thought I'd cover up a bit of the orange. The orange wasn't quite as Christmassy as I liked. Well, that's nice. So let's just add some of that to the corners. Yeah, so I don't know if I've got anything else to talk about. I had some teeth out. It's exciting news, isn't it? Yeah, I've had terrible trouble with, because I don't like dentists. I don't go. No one likes them, but I don't go to them. So anyway, I went, finally plucked up the courage and went, and he said, oh, well, I can't do it. You're going to have to go to the hospital. You need 3 out. Well, 2 or 3. So I had to go to a specialist, and he said, yep, we'll take 3 out. But anyway, it was really good. Recommend, if you're frightened of dentists, have it done in hospital. It costs money, cost me money, but it was so much better than having it done in a chair. General anaesthetic, local anaesthetic, sent home with painkillers and anti-inflammatories, and they just looked after me so well. And it's been maybe a week or 2 since I had those out, and they're just I'm just starting to think about chewing on that side. So anyway, so that was another little mini drama. It was actually worse leading up to the event than it was actually doing it, because they were so good. They were so nice and so professional. It was let's see, I got a bit blobby there. Got to be not a bit too runny, so you get blobs, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be collaging in the book eventually, so it will get covered up, so it doesn't matter if you make a bit of a blob. But yeah, so I'll leave that half to dry, I think, and go on with another one. Let's try this one. This one's the same all over, so I'm actually not going to worry about doing half and half, but I'm going to do some more white. So I had another stencil that I liked, this green one. It's a crochet doily. I don't know what that means. A crochet doily from this. I used to crochet, but I never made them from a plastic doily, so I think it goes that way around. It's just better if you can get it the right way. You know, it tries not to go underneath. Okay, let's sponge some off, make it not quite so runny. Alright, so anything else? The dog's fine, my family's all fine. My son's just gone off, or he's going off for a holiday. I'm going to be looking after the cats. So I'll be visiting the cats in the evenings and sitting with them and keeping them company, leaving the dog at home. So they're going off just for 4 or 5 days, nights, to the other side of the country. So yeah, I'll look after the pussycats. Now, see, I said I wasn't going to do it in half and half, but then I only did half. So what's the theory about that? Let's put it back and I'll do the other half. Apparently I can't. We all know I can't talk and think at the same time. And what else? Hasn't this year gone so fast? I mean, I know I haven't been on YouTube for 3 months, but whether I'm on YouTube or not, it's still going so fast. Unbelievable how fast this year's went. It just seems 5 minutes since we were doing Marguerite Miller last December, and now it's already the next December. I can't believe it. And I wrote the date for next year somewhere, and I wrote 2024, so it's like I'm willing it to go even faster. It's 2023 next year, Julie, not 24. That's okay. I'm sure people know what I mean. Yes, I can't believe it. I know we all say it, everyone says it, but why is it so? That's what I want to know. Why are we having that feeling and experience that it's just the world spinning faster? I don't know. I think my son came up with a theory that it was because we're all busier. So time goes fast when you're busy because you don't take notice of the time. You just sort of try to get everything done that you need to get done in that space of time, and you don't even really think about the day. Whereas, like, for instance, if I think back to when I was in school, I was bored. The day and the week and the month and the year went so slowly. But I think it's because you're bored and you're just basically counting the minutes, so you're aware of every minute. I think that's the reason why we all say the world's going faster, time's going faster, because we don't have time to be bored. We're just always busy. Well, this is quite pretty. I quite like the white now. I was using gold when I was making these originally. So if you don't know how I got to this stage, I just basically rolled some colour on a jelly plate, and then I put some gold and peeled the paper off. I did it the easy way. You just put the base colour on, then you put the stencil on, and then stenciled some gold on, take it off real quick, put the paper down, which picks up the gold, and it's just a really easy way of making jelly prints. I do have some jelly printing videos on my channel, which I've made some ones similar to this, so you can have a look at those. I might probably do some more jelly printing videos next year. Quite like jelly printing, it's fun. You never know what you're going to get, and the funniest part is that quite often you think, oh, I've just got to clean the plate off, so I'll just stick some white paint on and just clear this paint off, and that turns out to be the best one. So you just never know what you're going to get, and don't waste the paint that's on your plate. Always try and pull it up because it might be your favourite one of the day. Yeah, so we did a whole pile of jelly printing here last week and the week before to make some pages for our little book. The ladies did, and we're going to be binding. So because I was kind of helping people, I haven't done it. I said I was going to do it at home, but I haven't. I'm kind of behind what they are. They all kind of went ahead and I got left behind, so I needed to catch up. So I thought I might as well do it on camera. Well, I've come into the room, I've set the room up for Friday's art, and so I thought, well, I'll just come along and have a chat with you guys and, you know, catch up, do a little video. And also my ladies on Friday might be able to watch this video and see the process that I'm sort of thinking of doing, where I, you know, kind of like stencil on my, oops, there's a pin there, weird, go away, stencil on my jelly prints to sort of add texture and pattern and interest, and then before I actually fold them up and put them into a book. So on Friday we will be folding the pages and making the cover just out of cardboard, you know, it's cardstock. So that's two. I like those 2 pages. All right, so I don't know if I want white on this one. What color can we add to this? Just a little bit of, maybe just a nice border. I've got all these borders here. What about this one? That looks nice. How about a dark green border? Well, that one's certainly more juicy. Yeah, I think I'll use that darker one. Wow, it's warm in here. I'll turn the fans off, close the doors for the noise. It's probably more noisy. Well, it is more noisy than where I live because I'm in the cul-de-sac. I might not do it solid. I might do it hit and miss, so it's not too in your face. But yeah, we're actually on a sort of a busy road that's used to be out in the country where I am in Baldivis, but it's now, let's see what that looks like. Not sure I like that. Let's fill in the gaps. I don't like it. You never know. Give it a try. Yeah, so Baldivis used to be kind of rural, little farms and things, lots of trees. But yeah, the Rockingham area has expanded and Baldivis has become huge. I know none of this is of any interest to you guys. Don't live here, I'm sorry. But because I'm sitting here in the Baldivis Art Group's club rooms, and I've been coming here a lot this last month or so. Yeah, it's kind of uppermost in my mind. All right, let's try that. Okay, that'll do. Let's do one on the other side. It doesn't have to be the same because the trouble is, see, that's leaves, but they don't look like leaves because all you get is the relief. How do you get the leaves? That's weird, isn't it? They've made these leaves, but all you get is the relief of it. Strange. I think I might do a different one. I might do this one instead. It's just kind of a pattern. What else do we have to talk about? I mean, it's been a few months. We must have something to talk about. What else have I done? I've lost a bit of weight. Been on this. Well, I started off on sugar-free diet. No sugar, 0 sugar, to kickstart things. And also, sugar is an inflammatory product. So I finally had to decide that if I'm going to have all these inflammation type problems, I might need to think about reducing my sugar intake because, you know, I'm a chocoholic and I love my ice creams and all these things you're not supposed to have. So, yes, I went on total sugar free. It's kind of like all or nothing. Oops, it's a bit wonky. Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Don't know if I can straighten it up by adding to it. Put that there, put that there. Let's just see how that works. Might not work, in which case I'll probably cover it up with collage. Yes, so I started off completely sugar-free, like everything to do with sugar and anything carbohydrate I got rid of and didn't have. So no potatoes, no bread, no cakes, biscuits, lollies, no sugar in my tea, nothing. And yeah, that sort of kick-started things. And then I just, you know, added fruit and a very occasional sweet thing, but I haven't gone back on to having my tea because I have 2 sugars in my tea and I can't drink tea without 2 sugars, so I drink fruit tea, which is not the same, not as nice. And yeah, and I don't have bread. Right, what other colour shall we add to this? I'm just thinking on this side, because that one, the gold's quite bright. I'll leave that one as it is. This one, I just feel it like needs a bit of a lift. How about some yellow? I've got this lemon yellow. So I've got this piece of plastic here. These are those, you know, photo. So if you take the cover, if you like the cover of the photo album, and then you can use these as your, you know, for your acrylics or your smush technique or all that kind of thing. Okay, some lemon yellow. I don't know if that's Christmassy, but yeah, can't really see that. Orange or no, that didn't work at all. Right, I'll leave that one for the moment. Running out of room. I can't believe I've got a whole club to myself and I'm still running out of room. It's crazy. Let's put those over there. I'll just spread out. And you should see the mess I make when I'm doing acrylics. All right, let's, what should we do? I think this one's okay as it is. It's got enough going on. That one's a bit plain and I don't like that one. I think this yellow is quite translucent, so it's not adding much colour at the moment. Let's have a look and see. Oh, we're just going to do some opera pink. I've got a pink brush, so let's try that. It's very pink. Let's try it. Just do a little one in the corner. I must admit it's probably easier with the brush. Yeah, that's pretty. Kind of looks red on the green, so that's all right. All right, so what are you guys doing for Christmas? We're having our usual family dinner. Even though it's really hot, we still always have Christmas turkey and such, roast vegetables and all of that. It's apparently going to be a warm Christmas, like last year. We're just wondering what to do with the animals because the patio might be too hot for them. That one I didn't make a space, but oh well. Maybe I'll just add some to these so that it doesn't look like it's different to the rest. I'm very symmetrical, aren't I? Can't handle things to be different. All right. That's enough. And you can add things, you know, when you make the pages. I'm going to leave that one. I quite like that one as it is. Is that working? Yeah. So did I mention I've done some acrylic pouring? You know, like I didn't think I wanted to do it, but I tried it here one Friday with the other ladies and enjoyed it. It's like, well, okay, I can. Oops, I think the bottom needs to do a bit more. Yeah, so I watched a whole pile of YouTube videos, bought some acrylic paints, and had a go. So, as I say, at the end of the video, I might show you. And so the first ones will be my first attempts, and the last one is one I did as a gift for my future daughter-in-law, and she liked it. So I just got to put the string on the back for her while they're away. And yeah, so it took me, I'd say 5 goes, 5 different, you know, versions of it. Till I was happy with them, and then I ran out of time and paint. Okay, I guess this is it, and it was. Everyone here at the club liked it, the last one that I did, and that's the one I gave her as a gift for her birthday. So that turned out all right. Yeah, going on to the acrylics is actually quite tricky, so I'm going to abandon that gold and consider my favourite gold. Where's that gone? Here it is. This Liquitex gold. Let's try some of this. This is acrylic, so should go over the top okay. I don't know if I've ever sponged with it before, but we shall test it out. So yeah, if you don't want, I don't think I'm going to use that yellow again, so I'm going to cut the yellow off. And I've got a fresh one. And you don't waste sponges. Alright, let's try it again. I might use the same one. See if I can line it up. Oh, it's upside down, it was the other way around. Was it? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to go over the top of that. So, splish splosh. See if this works. See if it's a bit more opaque. Otherwise I might have to use gold acrylic paint, which is what was on here originally. Yeah, so the Translucent paints are not going to give you as much coverage. Yeah, see, that's better. Just a bit blobby in places, but at least you can see the pattern. What else can we talk about? Otherwise I'll have to put you to music when I edit, because I run out of things to say. What else? I mentioned Cadbury at the beginning. He's fine. He's just due for his... I need to take him for another vaccination, because he's not a vaccination injection for allergies, because he's starting to itch again in this allergy season. So that seems to be his main problem, his allergies. So going to give him another bout of injections. They're quite expensive, but it does make a big difference to him. What should we put in the middle? Maybe I'll just do a bit of pattern around the edge. Sponge uses up quite a lot of this acrylics. And of course I don't know if I'm talking loud enough or not, or whether I'm too quiet, so I'm sorry if I am, because I'm just kind of muttering to myself. Probably should have taped a bit and then checked, but I didn't think of that. At least I'm not coughing. Took me quite a while to get that under control. Turned out to be quite possibly asthma and an allergy to dust mites. You know, washing all the bed covers, really vacuuming the bed, everything. And went on to these special puffers for asthma. You know, it went away. So we don't really know if it was that, or if it was kind of a COVID reaction. But I didn't know I had COVID. So I either had asthma, which I got rid of, which one doctor says once you've got asthma you can't get rid of asthma. Don't know if I agree. You can let me know if you agree. Have you cured your own asthma? I used the preventative puffer and Ventolin and consistently, and felt better. So I don't use them anymore. So yeah, was it asthma, or was it a bout of long COVID? Because I had the really strong fatigue as well, and I have a rose bush out the front, and someone came to my door, a neighbour or someone, and said how lovely the rose smelt. And I went, really? Because I smelt it the other day, it didn't smell. And I know the rose used to smell, so I used to be able to smell it. She goes, oh no, it smells nice, because it's an old rose bush. And I couldn't smell, so losing sense of smell, having major bout of fatigue and a nasty cough that didn't want to go away, that didn't work very well. You know, was it actually long COVID? Or perhaps just a bout of bronchitis, or I don't know. So anyway, whatever it was, the cough part of things and the asthma part of things has cleared up, so that makes it a bit easier to do videos from that point of view. Very hard to do it when you're coughing. So yeah, there's been quite a bit of improvement. And then, you know, because all my stuff is at the club, I couldn't do videos here at home. And I thought, oh well, why don't I do a video at the club? So I had to bring down more stuff. All my lighting and the camera holder and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know whether I didn't really do much. What can I do to improve that? Cover it up with collage? I'll just leave it. Cover it up with collage when the time comes. Yes, so that's how come we ended up here, because my room's pretty much empty, and with my art and craft room. So there might not be too many videos in December, because when the club closes and I take all my stuff home for the Christmas break, I want to switch my rooms. I've got a storage room and a craft room, but I want to swap one for the other, because the craft room is the hottest room and the sun is annoying. It gets in the way and it's tiny, and the bigger room is the storage room. So I think I might have the storage room as my craft room, and it has a better air conditioner in there, or the vents strong, you know, like it's nice and cool. It doesn't get the sun coming in the window, and there'll probably be less noise because I won't be facing the cul-de-sac. So it means I'm going to have to empty the storage room, empty the craft room, and switch everything over, and my place will be a pigsty while I do that. And so that might take me a few weeks because when I do something, I do something for 10 minutes and then I have to have a break and sit down and relax. It takes me ages to do anything with the fatigue. Oh, I've got a mess over there. It takes me ages to do anything with the fatigue. So I might just not do it everywhere. Anyway, that's the plan, and so therefore I'm hoping to have that all done, you know, for January. Well, I have to, and then I'll be taking all the stuff back to the clubhouse for the course, or the, yeah, we're doing a sort of a trial period of 2 months to see if people are interested in doing the journaling. So we'll see how that goes. And if they're not, then I'll just bring everything home and do it at home like I was. So it doesn't matter either way. We just thought we'd try it out. See if we can generate some interest and then take it from there. So January, February, it'll be, if I do film, it'll probably be at the clubhouse because all my stuff will be here. But it seems to be okay. I mean, I can't check the video at the moment. But you know, it seems to be, you know, I do it, if I set it up the day before we're doing the class, then it's ready to go for the class and I can do a video as well. So that's the plan. I think that sort of ties in okay, doesn't it? What have I got left? So I might have to do the rest of these. I might put you on pause. You get the idea of what I'm doing, and I'll just show you them all at the end because I want to get on to gluing them together because I need to be up to the same stage that the other ladies are up to for Friday. So I'm going to do some more stenciling on these, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm just gluing them together. I'll just do a couple with you and then I'll finish it off myself. Back in a moment. Okay, so I finished doing, I think, you know, enough to them for the moment. So all I do now is choose a couple of I just separated them into red and green, and then I'm just going to put a red with a green, and then I've just got to decide which one I want of the front cover. So this one's actually smaller than the other one, I'm not too sure why. So I'm going to glue it in the center, but I'm going to actually have to trim it up, but I'll trim it up after it's glued, and also wait for the glue to dry. So yeah, I'm going to have to do them, I'm going to match them all up first and fold them. So that's what I did, was I just choose a pretty one, match them together, fold them in half, and fold that one in half, bone fold and make crisp edge, and make that into a, that will be, you know, one piece of paper. So these are all pages for the Gelli Prints. So I just got sort of red and green. I'm just going to pick, not that they're sort of seen together, but I'm just sort of, so that when I turn the pages it will be different colours on every page, it won't be the same. So I'll fold that one inside. I mean, there's nothing difficult about this at all, and it's very similar to the way I made my Peter Rabbit journal. It's the same, not the same as the way I made my Christmas journal. So there's another way of doing it. I hope the noise is not too much, but it's just so hot I had to open the door. Sorry if it is. I haven't put the fans on. Too noisy? I think it might be. I'll close the door. Hang on. So now I'm just going to fold this one in half. That one in there. And yeah, I can't wait for the air conditioner. I get very hot very quickly. I'm not going to have enough red and greens, so I'm going to match up some other ones. Green's not my favourite colour, as some of you might know. So I didn't do a lot of green, but I couldn't do them all red, so I did do some red and some green. Yeah, I don't know whether I'll... I actually don't know if I'll get round to decorating that this year. This might be a journal for next year. because I'm not too sure if, you know, with all my stuff being here, and then if I take it, when I take it all home, it will be, you know, a case of moving everything around. So most of December is probably going to be taken up with reorganising my craft room ready for the new year. And then I'll have to see what projects I can do at home, or whether I bring things home. I don't know how it's going to work yet, but I'm hoping to be able to do some videos next year. I'm not too sure that it makes a difference. The only time it's going to make much of a difference is one, your cover page, so you want to have your nicest one on, I think, on the cover, and also you want one for the centre. So I think one of those other ones will be the centre, because that's the only one that will be a double page. So that's going to go like that. And then those two. Oh, I had an even number. How did I do that on purpose? I don't know. So yeah, that's all we do is fold them, and then we're going to glue them. I'll just glue one, and then I'll do the rest off camera, because there is one little trick to it, and that's start from the centre, otherwise you'll end up with creases. So I can glue them all together, and then I'll sort it out as a signature. So start with a pretty one. So what I will do is glue that side, and then glue the other side, but I'll put it into the centre. So, because I don't want to do both sides at once, and I need to have the crease inside, because you're basically asking the outside piece to go around it. So if you don't fold it first and just do half at a time, it will probably pucker in the middle. And I'm actually going to, here in Australia, the glue sticks dry so fast, I'm just going to put a very thin bead of glue around the edge to help the glue stick stay stuck. Now all I do is get this piece and make sure this is in the centre, and that it's in a good spot, and then you can do it with a glue bone folder, smooth it out that way so that it's not got any wrinkles, and when you fold it, it shouldn't pucker here in the middle. So you want to try and make sure you've got a good coverage of glue, and you won't get air bubbles, and squish out that, and then we'll trim up the edges later, and then we glue this side. So same thing, just the glue stick. I only glued on one side, but if your glue stick wasn't working, or you didn't have some art glitter glue or PVA glue to go on the edge, then you might want to glue both sides, but I think just one's enough. Just be fairly quick if you're here in Australia in the heat, because the glue stick dries. That's very sticky, and I have no idea if I'm in camera because I can't see. Sorry. Let's just hope that in the middle is okay. And just a little thin bead of, and if anybody wants to get these little bottles, I found them locally. You can probably get them on the internet too, but locally at Sound Business Equipment in Rockingham. For my ladies who are joining me for journal making. If you're watching this video, hello. And it might be useful to have a very thin nozzle. So I've got a bit of puckering happening on the other side of this, so I'm just going to try and smooth that out. That's it. Doesn't have to be perfect. We all know junk journals do not have to be perfect. I'm going to have to use a glue book because it's starting to get sticky. Okay, so we'll just let that dry, but I'm going to let it dry folded, because otherwise it might not want to fold. Okay, so that's all you do is, and then if they don't go flat, if you use thicker paper, they actually will. My Peter Rabbit journal was actually thicker paper, and if you glue, yeah, 2 pieces of heavier weight. This is actually just ordinary 80 GSM copy paper, but I think Peter Rabbit I used 120 GSM, and yeah, it'll stiffen up a little bit once the glue dries, but it won't be quite as stiff as the Peter Rabbit one. So that's all you do. Have your inside and your outside, and glue them together, and then become your page. Now so that one might be my centerpiece. So yeah, I'm going to use this glue book to glue them in. I'll do one more together, and then I'll do the rest off camera. And then I'm caught up to what we're up to on Friday. After that, we're going to be making the cover. I might do a little bit of preparation for the cover to give you guys an idea of what we're up to. And then I'll be probably doing the cover on Friday. But it really is just cardboard with some folds for the spine. Okay, so make sure it's in a good spot. Okay. And make sure it's securely glued down. No bubbles, hopefully. And turn it around and do the other side. Pull that back. These glue sticks are not as blue as the others, so you can't quite, you can see where you've been, but it's not as blue as the Boss Stick one. I don't know whether that's just because it's here, and once they start to dry off, the colour goes. It's alright, and then a little bead of glue just helps with stopping the corners from peeling back. You don't want to use PVA glue all over it. You could, but it wrinkles very easily. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of PVA glue, to be honest. Normally I use glitter glue, but I haven't got it working at the moment. So leave that to dry. See, I'll just fold that now. Make sure while the glue's still wet, so that it's trained to go that way. Okay. All right, I'll be back when I've done the rest. So I've now got, they're a bit curled because they just need to dry. The glue's still a bit wet, but I might leave them under a heavy book. Oh, that one's upside down, so I have to do that one that way. Yep. So just check the pages are all the way up that I like. That one doesn't matter. Most of them probably don't matter, but that one where I did the pattern probably does matter. Yep, that one prefers to be up the right way. Prefer that way for some reason. Don't really like that anyway. Okay, so that's all the pages the right way up. Now I could trim them now, but because the glue's a bit wet, that won't work too well. So the next thing to do is to arrange the pages into a signature. So what I've done is I've alternated them red and green, but that won't necessarily work because I don't necessarily want red and pink together, so I'm going to have to think about that a bit more. So it's going green, pink, red. Now that's actually my center one, so I'll leave that one. So yeah, just arrange them so that they're not too clashy, or however you like them. Green and that. I end up with two pink ones there, so maybe I'll use that one for the front cover and have that one just going in the middle. Maybe have this one next. So I've got two green ones. I don't really like that one. Might take that one out. And that one. Okay, so I've kind of got it into a signature now, so that will be the front cover. They all need trimming. Okay, and then obviously it's the same at the back. All right, so I've got my signature. Oh, I've got a spare one over here. Oh, that was my pretty one. Oh, I didn't get to use that one. That was my favourite. It got left. But which one don't I like? I don't like that one, so I'm actually going to put that one over the top of that one. And that'll be my cover, and that one will actually be a little bit thicker. So there you go. How about that? So that's going to be that way, and that's going to be that way. I need to glue that into there. So we'll do one more together. That in the middle. Okay. Bone folder. Turn it around. Do the same on the other side, so it's easier on the second half. Just getting that crease into the other crease, and bone folding it out towards the outer edge so that you don't get bubbling up. And this just helps if your glue dries too quick or your glue stick's not that good. It'll just help to keep it from you constantly having to glue the edges back together. We noticed last week that some of the glued pages were starting to pop apart, so they shouldn't with a bit of extra PVA glue. Right there. Give it a nice crease. That's the front. So that's actually going to be my cover. Of course, the thicker it gets, the more you have to trim off the inside one, which is why you don't trim until the final trim, until you've put your signature together. It doesn't have to be perfect, because we might be putting lace and stuff like that on the edge anyway. And then we're going to just nip off that. Okay, so this is just the first part of created a signature, which will be the pages of a Christmas book. The next part will be creating the cover. I'm just going to use some, cardboard that came with like this. I'm going to use one of these types of things. Fold that in half. I've got to find one that's big enough. Yep, that'll work. Create a little spine, and that will be the cover of the journal. Actually, I think I've got another one that's a bit sturdier than that. So anyway, that's all we've got time for today. So yes, that's the signature. I will just post up some photographs that I took of some of the work that I've been doing, playing around with the acrylics. You'll see the first ones are the very, very beginning, the very first time I tried, and then by the time I get to the end, the last one is the one that I used as a gift. So it does get better with, practice. So that's it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you all for your support, your warm wishes and emails and comments on YouTube, asking about me and my family and my dog and my cat and how we all are. Thank you very much for thinking about us, and hope you are all doing well. Hope you're all having fun getting ready for Christmas and doing some crafty Christmas things. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.